she started her menstrual bleedings, and whilst her menstruation during between the 10th and the 12th, she performed Tawaf-e-Ziyarat. So what's the ruling? So if the Tawaf-e-Ziyarat, obviously, then it will result in a badana. A badana means sacrificing a large animal, which is a cow or a camel. So if she does perform a Tawaf-e-Ziyarat in that particular state, then she will have to sacrifice as a penalty a large animal, which is a cow or a camel, which is referred to as a badana which is known as a badana in the technical terms. But that's to do with Tawaf-e-Ziyarat. But what about other Tawafs? So for example, if it's a Nafil Tawaf, if it's a Sunnah Tawaf, or if it's a Wajib Tawaf, or if it's a Tawaf-e-Umrah, and during menstruation, she performed any of these Tawafs. So what's the ruling regarding that? So in this case, a menstruating woman, where there's a Wajib Tawaf, for example, Tawaf-e-Wida, whether it's a Sunnah Tawaf, whether it's a Nafil Tawaf, or where is even if it's a Tawaf-e-Umrah, then this will incur a dam. Then she will have to pay a dam. And the dam, it is sacrificing a sheep or a goat, or it could be a share of a large animal, because usually a large animal, it could be divided into maximum 7 shares. So one share, 1/7, one share of a large animal, that will constitute a dam also. So if it's a wajib, nafil, sunnah, or a sunnah tawaf, or maybe a tawaf umrah, then she can perform. Then she'll have to pay the penalty of a dam. But there is a ruling that the scholars do mention, that despite incurring a penalty in the case of Tawaf-e-Ziyarat is badana, in the case of other tawafs other than a Tawaf-e-Ziyarat, it is a dam. If she repeats any of the both tawafs after becoming clean, then the dam and the badana will now be dropped. Okay, she'll be now absolved, because she's repeated the tawaf, she repeated those tawafs after becoming clean and pure. Now the penalty that she had incurred initially, that is now dropped.